5.
I'm going for top 1 or 2. Maybe him or that. And then we have Jamie Stead, 2.5 player. Gavin Walker, a 2-point player, and Kylie.
Stead's taking the jump, right? Number 4?
Yeah, Gav's in the jump, yeah.
And then we have Jeremy Yenal, number 9 for Switzerland, taking the jump. In there with him are Dave MC, number 7. Number 11, Eve Longhard, sorry. And number 24, who just scored the try there, it's Dao Tai. So Dao Tai gets the first try in the match. And Evie comes back and makes it look pretty easy with that first one. It'll be Phipps.
Straight away there you can see Switzerland had to take 3 or 4 passes to score, whereas I think GB will probably be scoring most of theirs within 1 or 2 passes.
Little inbound there. Over the top again. It'll be Altai.
He seems to be their goal scorer.
At least so far. Phipps in a race here with MC, but I don't think MC is going to be able to meet that challenge, and we'll tie it up here at 2. It's a beautiful city here. We've got a little time to run around before things started here the past couple days. We did. Great little shopping district where the streets are permanently shut down so you can walk around and do commerce.
It was the first time out there from Switzerland. Langhard calling it.
They're having trouble getting across time half court because there's a limit to the amount of time that you can hold on to the ball on that side of the court before you have to cross, that being 12 seconds.
Yes.
And as you'll see in the corners, we have a shot clock that's worth 40, and that's how much time you have from your inbound to score before you turn the ball over. So it'll be Switzerland inbounding here after the timeout. Get a new 12-second clock, but notice the 40 didn't reach the stat, so now with 25 seconds left to get it across that try line. Altai tries to get to that corner. Phipps stops him. Yenal gets the first for him. And so far we're back and forth. Swipe there by MC. And they're going to say that's off Great Britain. So Switzerland with a chance to get a 2-try lead here.
Well-timed reach there. It's just when Jamie was about to turn. There's always an awkward time to protect the ball.
And across the try line again is Dao Tai.
Once again, Switzerland, number 24, Dao Tai, assist General.
Up. Over.
Aaron did really well there. There was a loose retain, we call that, when the ball goes missing. He picked it up and sent a good long pass to Gavin there.
Gavin Walker, number 4, Great Britain.
He's extremely fast for a 2. If he gets going, he's very hard to stop.
Yeah, there's some 2s out there who can really scream. We got an equipment call going on here, at least trying to be. Number 12, Great Britain. The hands on the shoulders is our trying to tell the referee we have equipment problem, we need an equipment timeout.
This is where the staff really, give their value to the team. They come on and help. So it's a minute that they have to fix the problem, and they're always done really quickly.
Well, they make it look easy out there, but they do a lot of things other than just come out and flip our tires off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're keeping our equipment up to date and in great shape, and they make sure our wheels are ready for every match.
Yeah.
They change those tires when they get to be flat. Lots of wrench and hammer work,
Yeah.
keeping him in shape. Phipps across the try line makes it 5-4. Switzerland still in the lead.
Great Britain, number 13, Adam Phipps.
MC trying to keep Phipps behind him, unable to do so. You know, harassed by Phipps. MC tosses it over the top, but too far for Dautai to reach. And that's a turnover. This gives GB there a chance to tie it back up.
Looks tough for Switzerland. They're playing, we call it a low post, so someone's sitting to receive the inbound and he's having to follow his low pointer out, but Aaron's got so much speed and mobility that he's able to play the two of them. So yeah, it's looking difficult for them.
Is this Buta's first time out? Number 10 for
Yes.
GB? Looks like they made a change and then so MC now in the penalty box. Dave MC, number 7. He's a 2 for Switzerland. And Great Britain uses that power play opportunity to tie things up.
5-all.
Quick inbound. Gainal gets around Phipps, but not for long. Nice pass back. Buta coming to hit him. Protects the ball very well. Phipps in his hand in there.
Did really well there to keep that ball so close to the half.
And hit as he crosses, but Dautai gets the try. Poet and I don't know it. Phipps backwards now. He's got to make a back pass. Good defense there. Causes that turnover. And now Switzerland up again by 2.
Seems that Switzerland's tactic against GB here is to let the ball come in and then double it. Pressure the passer to getting the ball off. That's why both their stops have come.
And it's working, but I don't feel like GB has their A line out there at this point.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Although, is Robinson here?
I was just about to say, I can't see him on the bench, so this is one of their best lines at the minute. But I'm sure they'll build into it, you know. Only a few minutes in, sometimes there's nerves, you know, starting the biggest, one of the biggest championships you can play in.
Right over the top again. Dautai is going to be their goal scorer for sure. Sorry, try scorer. So Walker, number 4, gets it in to Buta.
Good catch there, because they tried to turn him as he caught it.
Well, and that's how you create turnovers, right? Getting on that chair. Phipps in the right place so that Walker can get that pass to him.
Great Britain, number 13.
Phipps trying to get that chair position so he can
He's in trouble here.
push Yanal outside. Here comes the big pass. Intercepted. Ooh.
Holding, is it?
Buta went down, and it's going to be a foul on him. He made the contact, right? Even if you're the person falling, if you initiate that contact, you go to the box. So while this appears like a violent sport, we don't allow you to touch anybody, and can't make any body-to-body contact, but chair contact, we're all about that. So Buta will probably go to the box because that's technically Switzerland's ball because it never changed possession.
Yeah.
I don't know. He caught it and then he went down. I might just call that a turnover, right? Let's see if we can see this. This replay is going to be great here, Raj. Oh, and that was the previous play.
It's kind of unfortunate for GB because they did get the stop, didn't they? And then
Yep.
catch there.
And it really kind of ended up double jeopardy here. We got not only did they get penalized by having a player in the box and being shorthanded, but they didn't get the turnover either.
Yeah.
I feel like you should only have one penalty instead of two. And I feel like he had possession before he initiated that contact. Oh, he came on the court illegally. That'll be Buta again. This one just as a turnover.
So I think the ball got flicked off here, and it hit Ayers' chair before he was on.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
I thought they were saying he came in at the wrong angle, but either way, it's a turnover. If he touched it, if he's still out of bounds when that ball touches his chair,
yeah,
that's a turnover. And that music means we're advertising beer up on the scoreboard.
I think if GB can just stay a little bit more composed at the minute, all they need to do is protect the ball here and face the heart of the court really when they're being swarmed by two people. They will get through to that, and I'm sure they'll stop the Swiss guys reaching on them.
One thing I've been really fascinated by is both this city, Vejle, and the one I was in Norway about 6 weeks ago for the Euro play-in, want to be the capital of parasports. They're both focused very much on inclusion and opportunity for everyone for athletics and sport and recreation, and it's phenomenal.
They do a good job as well, don't they, of hosting these events?
Yeah. Phipps with the try there, makes it 10-8.
It's the first time we're seeing Nick Cummins and Johnny Coggan on the court. Nick is a nightmare matchup. He's a 1.5 player, but he can stop players of far higher function. So watch out for Nick.
Share his number with people, so because they haven't played with GB for as long as you have.
Number 8, Nick Cummins. If he gets you in a tight area, you're not getting out.
For a low pointer, he has a very short chair. I noticed. Right, we know the difference in the chairs. The offensive chairs have, the battering ram in the front, and the defensive chairs have more of like a cow catcher in the front.
Yes.
But it's really interesting how short his chair is. I wonder if that's so that he doesn't get caught up in traffic because he does a more offensive role.
Yeah.
Phipps twists his way around, gets across, loses his balance, but he was upright when he crossed. So they'll give him that one. I guess technically he could go over and be halfway over as long as his wheels get past the plane of the try line.
Correct.
We're going to see this again. Watch where he goes, busts through that picker, but because he is leaning back a little bit as he gets hit. And I don't think that was a bad play. Oh, this is an earlier
He did
play.
really well, Aaron, here. Good strength there.
Look at that. Oh, he's
getting hit on there.
a little disappointed that he got hit. He felt like he got hit in the face. I didn't see if he got hit in the face, but you could see he was not happy about it by the words he mouthed. So MC gets it across to Dao Tai. Races across.
He seems to be having a really good game.
Yeah, it's a great match.
24, his 9 points.
Now 8, Nick Cummins.
Dautai.
Into Phipps. Phipps pressed hard.
That was good there from Aaron. He took the pressure and made sure he was facing into the court when everyone was trying to reach on him.
Break reason number 12, Jamie
Go back to Longhard, who gets it into MC. MC gives it up early to Dao Tai. Dao Tai would have liked to have had a little bit more space from Phipps, but MC able to take that one across. And so the reason that things are so open down here is because the low pointers from Great Britain
Switzerland, number 24.
We're tying up
Downtime,
Gainal,
assist MC.
number 9 from Switzerland.
It's, Switzerland are employing quite a clever tactic, even when Kylie was on as well. A high pointer will go and sit on their low pointer, and that will naturally draw a double. So I think it was Jeremy that time.
Yeah.
You watch when the Swiss are on offense, Jeremy will try and find Johnny, number 2.
Yep.
And then he draws a double, so it's 3 on 2.
Interesting play there. Phipps got tied up by the picker. But he called equipment and the ref gave it to him, even though the defensive player was able to just back away and unpick him. So he might not get that one again if that happens. Because technically, if that's not an equipment problem, it's not like they're hung up. The player has control and can hold you or not hold you in that situation. If your chairs get tied up and you can't get apart, they'll use equipment to get those apart. So off we go here. And that'll be Steed, number 12, who gets the try. 14-13, Switzerland. 1:44 left in the first. This is a good one. Not bad for our first day of play. A lot more people in the stands for the Denmark game than there are here, but there's still several people in the stands. And I think as we get closer to the end in that championship game, we'll see a lot more people up here. So far, the response, though, has been great.
We're now moving into a point in the first quarter where teams will try and score at certain timestamps on the clock. So don't be surprised if GB try and run this clock down to around 55 seconds.
It's clock management time.
We were actually chatting about it before this game. It's a really difficult thing to do, and you know, often you can mess it up when you're trying to run the clock down.
Oh yeah, managing that clock, right? You can put yourself in a bad situation, not scoring, right? The idea is to score at a specific time to give yourself another possession and get the last try, because if you get the first and the last try of every match, that's 8 points, right?
Yeah.
So that's the goal, but if you don't score it, then you end up backward one, right? You end up going one in the wrong direction. You can't have that. So that's what they're looking for. 57 is not a bad place to cross it, meaning if Switzerland uses all 40 seconds of their time.
Turnover, I think.
So
Good
yeah,
pressure from GB there and a slightly rushed inbound.
this is actually a really great situation for Great Britain. Because now they have the chance to score and still get another possession if they want to. It doesn't look like that's what they're going to do. Phipps works his way through and scores 44 seconds. They'll get at least 4 seconds unless Switzerland uses a timeout at the end, but we'll talk about that situation if it happens, right?
In trouble here. Oh.
And picked up there by Dao Tai. He's going to wait. They know they need to use some of this clock so that Great Britain can't tie it back up. So they'll allow the GB players in blue come down here and sit up in the key.
15 seconds.
Phipps not necessarily a great option to pass over, and trying to catch it as he crossed the line is Langhard, and he's unable to. So now we got a turnover with 9 seconds left, and the speed of Phipps could be in trouble. But Phipps is tied up. So Steed slowed down, caught, goes over it. That will not call that a spin. I don't think that was a spin, so that was good. But did he call timeout? If you hit the ground with the ball, you turn it over. But if he called timeout before his chair touched the floor, not the wheels, but the chair, then they will, or his body.
I think he has called a spin, but after about 10 seconds of...
I didn't see the spin. When the referee calls a spin, they twist their torso with their arms kind of in a little circular motion horizontally. So I don't see a, oh, I do see a player in the penalty box. So they did call a spin. Okay, 4.9 seconds left. GB with the head. Extra man. And speed of Phipps, that one's gonna go. So now GB goes from a 2-try deficit to a 1-try lead as we have 3 seconds left, and Switzerland will be content to take that into the break. So unlike most matches, we get 3 minutes break, at least traditionally. You get 3 minutes between quarters and 10 minutes at halftime, so you'll have the opportunity to hear us a little more, see some more stuff that's going on the floor, hear from our sponsors, etc. So what do you think they're talking about on the GB bench? Do you think they expected it to be this close this early?
No, I don't think so. I think, I mean, you saw the last couple of minutes there in that first quarter. They really kind of focused in, and they got the score back from, what was it, 2 down at one point to a 1-point lead. And, you know, I think that will make this talk from the coach a lot more positive.
So be ready to drop
Paul
down.
Shaw.
Yes.
He's good at getting it off. I know you can
Drawing it up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, so we did the hard double there, right?
Yeah.
Switzerland also talking it out, talking about what they've done right.
Okay, so we got that there. Then what's
I think if
he's
you're
coming
Switzerland,
on,
you're
and he's
focused
giving
on
him
what
the
you've
ball,
done right and don't worry
and
about
then
what you've
somebody
done wrong
drops
at
it
this
out,
point.
and then these two sit in the middle.
Because they've done so much right
Don't stay on
in this
your
first
man.
quarter.
Stay in the middle, then you can cover both sides then.
I don't think you focus
Right.
on the negatives if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
You know that they happen, right?
low
It's not a surprise to anybody that they
Low trunk,
ended
get
up
the low
with
pointer,
a 3-point
right on the
or
press.
3-try differential there.
Hey,
You need to
look for them
keep
digging
calm
into your
and
wheel
keep
to get it
keep
low,
on with
like
what
I said,
their
with
game
that
plan
ball,
was.
the
It worked
reaches.
pretty well.
You must have 4 of them.
They're moving the ball really well on their offense. Frustrating,
That
GB.
ball, so to go back in the kick.
There's just a few times where the ball went long when Switzerland were trying to score, and I think if GB can just tighten up that defense there with that long man, you know, just staying that little bit tighter and in that passing lane, they could get quite a few stops in a row, I think.
This is going to be our last game today. Tomorrow we got a full slate. 5 games each on 2 separate courts. A total of 10. They start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they go all the way as late as 8:15 is the start of the last game. So it's a long day tomorrow. So lots of gap between games in case of overtimes. As you can see, statistics for the first quarter. Nothing that super stands out. Lots of turnovers. 4-3. And I would have thought that the turnovers would have been more in the favor of Great Britain, but it's only 1-point differential, so I think it's safe to say there should be a 1 difference in the tries, or in the turnovers, right?
Yeah.
So great to have those statistics.
You are ready to second.
That's rugby putting on its big boy pants, I think, right? You know, when we get statistics like that, that's amazing. I don't get that a lot, but, you know, especially at smaller tournaments, you don't have people keep statistics and type them in and make them available, and not that we have commentary either, but...
Well, you touched on it. It's so important for the teams and the work that they can do. You know, if they can find out exactly where they're going wrong, you know, how they could be better, it's so valuable.
The tail of the tape. Oh, that was very close for MC, but he's able to hang onto the ball, and as you can see there on the screen, he was very close to hitting that line and going over and back. Good defense.
Great composure there from MZ.
Yenal takes it across.
Switzerland number 9. Jeremy Gilmore, assist MC.
So this is Ollie on the court for the first time.
Mannion, number 9.
Yeah, this is his first World Championships, I believe. He's
Awesome.
he's played in at least one Euros. I think it's just one.
He's a 3 classification, so he's going to be a guy with the ball. Steed once again, number 12, with the try. So now GB is dropped back into the key, trying to slow things down here.
18-16.
This might suit Switzerland because they don't really want to run and gun, I don't think, with GB.
Well, you talked earlier about how speed isn't necessarily their strength. And Yanal stuck, calls timeout. He didn't even know if he could get out of the key because you're only allowed to be in there for less than 10 seconds. And that's done by individual players. So if a guy goes into the box and another guy comes in 5 seconds later, that first guy's clock is still running and the second guy's just starts. So
that's where I don't envy the referee's job.
oh yeah, counting all those 10 seconds.
How many clocks do they have to have?
Well, it's one referee's job to watch that time. It's another referee's job to watch the 4 in the key because one's watching offense, one's watching defense. And the referee roles switch every time things change. So yeah, it's a hard job. I'm sure that being a referee is not the. Looks like we have a coach's timeout being called by Switzerland as the coach stands next to the table with his arms out.
Obviously wasn't happy with their last key attack.
I think they had more to say. Yeah. Because they had the floor timeout, which you can use to save yourself from a turnover, is only 30 seconds, while the coach's timeout can only be called on a dead ball and lasts for 60 seconds. So GB content with what they're doing. They're not on the bench. Switzerland talking it out. And now we're calling for a substitution for Switzerland. Panel number 2 in the corner inbounding. And it's number 3, Fry, who comes in. And a turnover.
It's still Switzerland's ball,
Oh,
but
it is
nearly.
Ball, okay. It must have gone off Steed. Steed, number 12, being aggressive. Able to stop the pass, but it goes off him. And now MC works his way to the corner. He'll take the try. Walker to Steed. Steed, not the fastest player out there, but confident and capable. So Great Britain retains a 2-try lead as Switzerland works their way toward half court. And the pass tried to knock it down, Yanal, but it was too hot for him. That pass from MC, number 7. Steed, trapped, facing the wrong way. Gets his chair out of there so at least he can make a good pass. Oof, does.
Great pass there from Jamie.
Number 4, Walker, will take it the rest of the way.
Great Britain, the captain, Gavin Walker, number 4.
Seems to me that the Swiss are just struggling that little bit more in this quarter to get the ball out the half.
Yeah, they've worked a lot harder to get across half court. And another turnover? No, they're going to say that was off. Number 4, Gavin Walker. So they'll have another opportunity to get across half with a new 12-second clock, but the 10 seconds are gone from that shot clock. Leaving plenty of time. I've thrown a pass and scored with under a second left. It happens. It's not common, but it happens. Oh, not a great pass. but I believe it's still Switzerland's ball. Panel couldn't bring that one in.
GB really putting the pressure on here.
Now protecting it and able to get across the try line. Trading goals here. Trading goals, trading turnovers. Trading tries. After all this time. Speed again.
GB's offense looking a little bit smoother in this quarter. They're not getting caught. They're not getting caught in doubles so much, and you know, it's looking really smooth for them now. The quicker you can score, the more pressure it puts on the other team, because it feels like they're always spending a long time trying to score, and if GB are scoring quickly, mentally it will be difficult for Switzerland.
Originally, I thought that this defensive decision to play the key was about slowing things down and just keeping control of the game, but I'm starting to think maybe it was more about speed. This line doesn't necessarily match up speed-wise, right? Most of the other GB lines, they have more speed than Switzerland, but this one I wouldn't say that they do. Although I guess I may be shown wrong here as Mannion streaks up court. GB opens it up to 4 try difference now. That key defense working really well for them. MC working behind his picker. Panel.
Oh, great pass.
Yeah, and reeled in really well there by Fry. Yinal trying to help him get loose. Fry giving it up to MC. MC looking to pass. He's got an out. Relentless defense. Walker not giving up there. And the pass up there caught. Panel takes it across the line. Puts Switzerland back within 3.
Seeing some newer faces for Switzerland in this quarter. I think Roger Fry's a fairly new player at this level, so great minutes for him.
Yeah, in a game that's close, those minutes mean a lot more than in a game that's not. Because the pressure, right there, when you make a mistake, it means something when the game is close. When it's not close, you make a mistake.
Yeah.
You don't feel like there's any consequence, so you start repeating bad habits. So it's good to see him getting an opportunity in a game that's tight here. MC. Number 7 with the try. Walker across half.
Looks like Jack Smith, number 5, just gave MC a puncher there. It's always frustrating as a player when you get a puncher, because in this sport you use it's kind of like a handball wax on the wheels, and the wheels become perfect after you've played a quarter or so. So when you have to change it for a fresh shiny one, it's not always fun for the first few minutes.
True. Smile there from Steed as he crosses. Over the top. And Fry with the try. I heard it. That's why I delayed. I heard it as I was about to say it. It's like, I don't want to get too far into the Dr. Seuss area. 25-21, Great Britain right now leading in the second. We only have 3:15 left in the second quarter. Great Britain yet to use a timeout. Switzerland,
Oof.
oh, and that pass, he's gonna want that one back right in the hands of Steed. And Steed hooked up on the chair here of Fry. And when your caster's stuck like that, they're gonna call it. Give him a chance to separate those chairs. So here you get to see this pass as he's being twisted, tries to throw it ahead. Ill-advised. Into Steed. Walker. Walker has Mannion. Is he going to go there? He is. Mannion gets a try. Now it is a 5-try difference. Switzerland's going to stay in this. They need to stop giving up turnovers. Mannion with the pressure. Pass over the top, Fry. Got MC. He slams that ball down. Happy to get that one. Oh, Steed spun. They're going to definitely call a spin for that one.
It's a few times now they've been on the edge of spins when they're trying to hit Jamie.
You know, a lot of times if there's no danger, they're not going to call that. But he really hit him behind the axle, made him go over. And that's the time where you have a chance of hitting your head on the floor, your elbow.
Yeah, he grimaced there when, as you see on the replay, Jamie grimaced a little bit. So hopefully he's okay. But it can become frustrating when people keep chipping the back of your chair.
And Great Britain cleaning house here, wholesale substitution. Oh no, Mannion's still out there, number 9, but he's the only one. Joined by Kylie Grimes, number 7. She's back here in this pile of players. Cummins, number 8, trying to help her get out of there. And of course, number 13, Phipps, the speedster. Phipps there to try and knock that one out. MC will take that one across. Phipps is across, and he's got nothing to worry about here. He's got another burner, right? He can switch it up to another gear that most guys can't keep up with.
The worrying thing was, I think that was only 3rd gear for him.
Yeah. Well, when you see a game where he's up against a Medell or a Bat, you're going to see a lot of people screaming down the court. Those games will come later. For now, it's MC working at, oh, knocked down the pass, picked up by Fry, who gets it across the line. Wow, Switzerland got away with one there.
Yeah, good defense from GB. I think it was Nick, number 8, that maybe got his hand on the ball in the corner. Just unlucky to get not get the turnover.
Yeah, he did what he wanted. He stopped that pass from happening. GB bench screaming there, go, go, score the goal, score the try.
See here, this is where the Swiss are stopping Kylie from moving. So they're actually doubling her with 2 high pointers.
Yeah, Kylie Grimes, number 7, she is held in the corner or against the sideline, and they're trying to keep her out of the play because she's able to wreak havoc there with that chair. MC gets it across, up it goes. Nice job turning his chair just to collect the ball and keep control of it is Fry. And right back in the hands of MC. 1 minute, 12 seconds remain. They're working the clock. They want to score around the 55 area. Like you said before, every team's got their own specific time, but interesting by GB to double team.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, and it pays off.
Good 2-man defense there from the
Hanel went toward the line hoping to catch that ball, and when it went behind him, he didn't get his hands back on the wheel to stop himself. He wanted to carry that momentum across the line.
This is exactly what we talked about earlier, isn't it? It's important to be able to manage the clock, but
yep,
you see turnovers like that.
You got to score.
Yeah.
So subs coming on for Switzerland. Tao Tai, who scored most of the tries in the first quarter. Back out there with Yenal, number 9. Tao Tai, number 24. And Crowder, number 4. That's his first minutes.
I was really impressed with Dotai in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Not seen much of him, but really quick, assured on the ball.
And now we got inbounder called. That'll be Cummins. Oh, no, it wasn't Cummins. He was calling for something. In trouble, gets it across.
Oh, no.
That's why you don't throw it to a low pointer, 0.5. Gashtelli tried to pick that one up, but the pass, needed to be in a place where he could catch it. You got to know your recipient and where they can catch that ball. So Yenal dribbling, taking his time. He knows that they want to try and score this last try to keep this from getting too far out of control. They're already down 6. And off the knee of Phipps, it'll be Switzerland's ball with 11 seconds remaining. Now is where the final second chess match starts, right?
So they've got to get going quick because obviously they're starting this offense from a static position.
Yeah, which usually you want, 15 seconds? Great pass there, but they left 11 seconds. For Phipps, that's an eternity.
Yeah, he thread the needle
Mannion
with that one,
ball.
didn't he?
Phipps is free. 7 seconds, Mannion can do that himself. And that's why you want to leave less seconds on the clock. But, it was good of Switzerland to take the try. And the possession arrow should be in the favor of Switzerland because GB had it last quarter and we did not see a turnover from a held ball.
10 minutes break.
So at halftime, it's 31-25, Great Britain in control.
Much better call of that from GB, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they did a much better job of controlling turnovers, right? There were a lot of turnovers in the first by both teams.
Yeah, they seem to they moved the ball a lot better in that second quarter. When the ball was coming in, they were finding the inbounder. They were using the space and their pace that they have over the Swiss.
Yeah, 4 turnovers and 3 turnovers. It's a lot of turnovers, 7 turnovers in a quarter, but I'm sure there were several turnovers. You can't get this thing to zoom in so I can get the rest of the statistics, but
And I understand the way
I did something wrong. Here we go. Looks like the same in the second, except it's still in the favor of Great Britain.
Sorry, I should have shouted no with that 4.5.
Yeah, I thought.
Guessing GB
Actually, I
had
take
less.
that back. Great Britain had 3 in the first, and so did Switzerland had 4, and the same was true in the second, 3 and 4. But I guess it looked worse. Oh no, I'm sorry, there were 9 turnovers. That makes more sense based on the score deficit, because I think Switzerland just is really having trouble. They had trouble at the beginning getting across half, and then once Great Britain dropped into the key, that's where we were seeing things like balls knocked down and balls knocked out of bounds.
It can be so tiring when you're playing games like this for a team like Switzerland. They're having to, it almost feels like you're having to score 2 or 3 times because you might break the half and then GB will catch up and you've got Aaron hitting you or you've got Ollie hitting you and then you have to break that again and then you're at and then GB have kind of retreated into the key. So it feels like such a a big effort to score one goal.
I think those were total turnovers that I was talking about. That's why he says 5. The only turnovers were by Switzerland, 5 of them. Total turnovers was 9-3. So Great Britain did not turn the ball over in that quarter. Is that true?
I think so. Much more tidy from them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely much more tidy. There's no question about that. I guess, most of the times when the ball went out off of Great Britain, it was because they were trying to get the ball away from Switzerland. Right off the knee of Phipps here, off the chair of Steed. So it's a 10-minute break here. Watching some replays. What do you think so far? Your team doing their thing?
Yeah, I think they'll probably be disappointed with themselves in the first quarter. But good characters come out in the second, and I guess right their wrongs. You do find that happens in tournaments. There'll always be a few minutes or a quarter or whatever where you're just not on song. And these games are a test of focus, really.
Sure, it's a long game. I mean, really, there's only 4 8-minute quarters, 32 minutes of play, but all the time in between those whistles is when things really happen. And it takes 90 minutes to run a game, so that, your first quarter of the first game of a very long week, of course, you're going to be a little bit rusty. You might make a couple of errant passes. There's 12 teams in this tournament, so they got a lot of games to play in the pool rounds, and then we have crossovers, and then finally we get to the medal round. So 5 games per team in this first round.
A lot of mental energy is consumed as well, particularly before game 1 on the first day. So it was a 7:15 tip-off here, and that's a long time. During the day, say you've had breakfast at 9, that's a long time to be thinking about what's going to be happening. 10 hours. So,
and they've been training for this for a long time. I know that they've had games recently, right? You just had Quad Nations. All the other teams here have played in competitive tournaments leading into this. So it's not that they're not ready, but just like any other sport, these guys train all the time. They are athletes. Don't get the idea that they're anything else. I know USA will do 12 training sessions a week, and this is on your own. That's before they get to camp.
Yeah, and that's when the real hard work starts.
Right. Well, you got to get yourself in shape out of practice so that you can practice the skills, the teamwork that you need to win a game. If your coach is worried about training your body, then he needs to find somebody else to put in your place.
Yeah.
So you as a player, we look at rugby as the 4 players on each team playing in a 1-2-3-4. Right? 1 is your primary ball handler, and 4 is a guy that's probably not going to see the whole ball a lot, has a lot less function. You're deuce, right? Mm-hmm. Play as a 2. Were you normally a 2 or a 3 role on the team when you play?
So I was generally the 3 role. We play a lineup which would probably be 3-2-5, 2.5 when I was playing. And that 3 role would often inbound the ball, come on as fast as possible, and it's quite a good position to be in as the inbounder, because you can come on and dictate the play. You're the one that has the vision of the whole floor.
When you're 3 as a 2, your give and go option is much better, right? If the 1-5 or a 1 is inbounding and you have to do a give and go, you're doing a 1 to a 0.5. I mean, that's a tough transition to make. It's a lot riskier proposition than to have a 2 inbounding to a 1 or a 0.5 and then getting the ball back, maybe with some speed.
Yeah.
Right, working up the court.
And it's all about trying to find those mismatches. So, as we were talking about, if I'm coming on at speed, you want to try and take one of the high pointers off of one of your high pointers. So, you know, that they have an easier job when they're running the ball out.
So Great Britain looking pretty relaxed here, running a little drill.
We call this a flat nose drill. I don't exactly know where it came from, but maybe a few people got the ball in the face.
I have never heard it called that. That's
at some point.
I don't know that I've ever heard a name for it, but I certainly have never heard it called the flat nose drill. But now I will remember that, I hope.
To be fair, when you're learning it, you do get a few balls in the face, so maybe that's where it came from.
Have you been in a world championship?
Yes. How many have I been in?
Denmark?
Denmark, 2014.
Okay. Australia?
Yeah.
Anything before that? Canada was before that? No.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I started in early 2010, so I didn't make that one. But yeah, Denmark hosted one in 2014. That was a brilliantly run tournament. It wasn't in this city, but I think it was in Odense. Brilliant tournament there as well. They also held the Euros in 2019. So as you said earlier, they're a big advocate for para sport, and they really put the effort in when they host these events.
Right here in Vejle.
It's a lovely town as well. Have you ventured into town yet?
I did go on Sunday, but everything is closed here on Sunday. I was amazed at the number of people walking through the commercial area with nothing open. I mean, there was a cafe open for a little while.
Right.
And there was a grocery, kind of I guess what we would call a department store. Right, it had groceries, but it also had clothing, and it had tools, and it had some of everything. And it looked very small from the outside, but it was surprisingly big. I actually did a little shopping while I was there, but yeah, it's a really nice little area, really beautiful to look at. And you know, they're on the water here. There's a fjord. I think it might be called the Vejle Fjord. Lots of interesting architecture, lots of sculptures in the kit that we got. There's a map, an accessibility map to the sculptures around town. So that was pretty interesting. I've never seen that. And that's a nice transition, no it's not, into the second half of this game. And as we said earlier, Switzerland will start the quarter with the ball down by 6. Looking to create some turnovers here.
It's the first look we're getting of Kieran Flynn. Number, can't actually see his number from here, but number 11 there in the key.
Yeah, number 11. I have his pictures right here.
His first World Championships. He's a 2-pointer. So yeah, he'll be looking to impress.
And he's playing that 3 role, right? Because Buto would be the 2 and Phipps number 1 with that big pass over the top to him. So Buto, number 10, racing to get back into the key.
I think they're keying here because what they were doing.
It worked so well for him last quarter, right?
And it also allows Kylie to be more
stationary.
Useful. Instead of them doubling her, like she's able to be in the press here.
Right, they kept her out of the play all the time.
Yeah.
Buta reaching in there.
See, Aaron and Kylie thought that they had knocked number 4, Crowder, out of bounds before they scored that goal, but
they did, but not before he scored, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the refs call, that's the truth. Who are the Bulls? Is that one of the teams in Great Britain?
Over there.
Oh yeah, I see Bulls and GB flags all over.
Yes, Bulls, yeah. Northeast Bulls, I think they're called.
Okay. So using his picker, Yenal trying to get by Phipps. Now that pick leaves him. Now Ty gets it over the top. And Crowder will take that try across the line, 33-28. Score.
Assist, daughter.
Phipps spinning. Gets out. And nobody there to stop him.
He really is a machine, that one. When he gets going, he can't stop him.
You know what I have to ask you about? There was a guy who played in London in the Paralympics. Might have had a mohawk, colorful hair, really animated. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him? I mean, he seemed like he had a lot of potential to be a great player.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so Dave...
A little uncontrolled energy going on there, right? Like a nuclear reaction that doesn't have enough rods in it, but...
Yeah, so
happened to him?
that was Dave Anthony. He was still in the team after 2012, but a few of the guys came in, like Ayaz, Jamie, and I think just over time, I think maybe they overtook him.
So he maybe felt like he was a... Did he just fall off the team because there were better guys in front of him, or did he maybe stop coming because he felt like he wasn't going to get the PT he wanted?
I think there was a lot of competition in his place. We also had Mandip Semi and Ross Morrison still around
I
there.
haven't seen Semi in a long time.
Two legends of the game.
Morrison's coaching in Finland now, right?
Yeah.
He had a pretty good outing there at European qualifiers. They did a really good job, especially for having him as coach for such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Flynn, was that Flynn's first try of World Championships?
Oh, I don't...
Because he just scored the try. Phipps with the hit.
Hold him. Great defense there from GB.
Yep, illegal contact on his way down. I don't know if they're going to call it, but he definitely touched the knee of Phipps. Watch here. You can see his arm going on there. Phipps leaning in to make sure there's a little contact on his shoulder. And you can do that.
Aaron's the last person you want to see when a 50-50 ball's been thrown.
Well, he has so much trunk, right? Look at the back of his chair is barely exists.
Yeah.
So he can lean any way he wants, and he can really throw his weight into that.
So before Tokyo, we had Aaron, we got Stuart, and Jim was in the team as well,
right?
And the intensity that we were able to create at camps was unrivaled in the time that I'd been there. Those three, and obviously everyone else going as hard as they can. It was something else.
Was there a while that Phipps wasn't playing? Because I feel like there was a time where I didn't see him and I was afraid that he had gone away.
Yeah, so he wasn't in the Rio cycle.
Okay.
He was he basically had two girls, and I think, family time was important to him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you said two girls, I didn't know you meant daughters.
Yeah.
Phipps again with the try. 37-29 our score.
Looking for a deny here, GB. They've got it in good position at the minute.
And he's in a great defensive position there too. And you'll see that one right there. Timeout had to be called by Dao Tai because he was about to be pushed into that cone. You can see the cone's way off there. And that had been out of bounds if you touch that cone, even if your wheels aren't across.
He must have called that timeout right at the last second. First sighting of Ryan Cowlin here, number 24. He's a brilliant one-pointer, fast.
Nobody there for the inbound, so the referee starts the clock. That 10 seconds to inbound clock in his head. As you see him moving his arm, that's him counting those 10 seconds. Switzerland able to get it away from the baseline.
Dotai just creeped out there, did well.
Nice job by Crowder to be patient and wait for that opportunity to come up because he was running out of time. He only has 12 to cross half.
Switzerland, number 24, foul time.
Steed takes it all the way down. 5:01 left in this third quarter. Great Britain has a pretty decent handle on things right now, and hit from behind is Yenal, and his tire is popped. That'd be Ryan Cowling, number 24, who popped his tire. That's not a penalty. They just have to change that tire. It does give Switzerland a chance to inbound from the side. Not quite as deep in their own end, but the inbounder can't move around on that baseline either. Phipps watching the clock before he scores. Tucks that ball down in there and puts his hands over it. You'd be hard-pressed to get your hand on the ball when he's got it where he has it.
Well, looks like another turnover here.
If you've ever heard anybody say the benefits to not having legs, it's been in a rugby tournament. I used to joke about which tendon do I need to cut, or which nerve do I need to cut in order to be a 3 instead of a 3-5? In which pinky, you know? Only in rugby. Inbound. Wow, I don't know how he picked that up. Dao Tai got it, met at the line, does not cross, so he doesn't have over and back, but he's got to protect that ball. He's running out of time to get across half, and that's why they call timeout there. So Switzerland able to keep from turning it over, but it cost them a timeout, and they are running thin there. Great Britain yet to use one.
No, this GB line's really brought a lot of intensity since it's come on.
And that was Switzerland's last timeout. So they can't save themselves from a turnover by calling time. Just protecting the ball, Yenal looking for a passing option. Getting reached in on by those low pointers. Oh, pass knocked down by Steed, but that will still be Switzerland ball. And that's what he wanted to do. He just wanted to make sure that that wasn't an easy try.
Trying to push Jeremy out of bounds there. Oh.
Yenal, number 9, gets out of trouble. But Cummins was right there close to the line. He wanted to get out of there. Now, what happened there? They call pushing? Or did somebody get pushed across the line?
The Swiss player tried to punt the ball. When he threw it up, it bounced off his will.
Oh, okay. I was looking at something away from the play, watching the battle over there.
Number 9, Oliver Matcher, 43.
Yenal launches it up.
Wow, what a pass.
Wow. Dao Tai picks it up, and he will get across the try line, pumping those arms.
It's got to be pass of the game, that, right? Half court, straight into his lap.
Dao Tai told me he was an Albanian refugee.
Oh, really?
He got out, survived, and then he ended up breaking his neck in a diving accident. His son actually saved him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy. The people's stories, I love to hear people's stories because they're all just so unique. Even though you say, oh, another diving accident or another car accident. I mean, they're just so different. How everybody got here is different, but we're all here for the same reason, because we just love playing this game. And that pass doesn't get to Crowder. He tried to knock it down so he could get control of it, but unable to do so. So the turnovers keep coming for GB.
One of the reasons this line's doing so well for GB is the introduction of Ryan Cowling. He's all the other lineups we've had on so far have had lower function players. So with Ryan as the number 4, they can't pick on one of those lower players to make it easier for themselves. And Ryan, you can see Ryan here, he's doing a really good job on a 2.5 player up there.
Well, that's true. When you look at the line, like when you see Phipps out there a lot of times, the difference between him and the person at the opposite end of the spectrum is radical. Where in this case, you know, the speed is decently matched. All 4 players can handle the ball.
Yep.
Switzerland just having trouble getting out of the pile. Over the top. Well done there. Crowder
1
finds
second
the
on
open
the clock.
corner. Yeah, just got it in there. They had to use 39 seconds, but that's all it takes. And that'll be Cummins, as we were talking about. Gets up there, takes that ball quick. Yeah, such a short chair for a low point chair. Ooh, got his hand in there, but unable to get it away.
Nick has the longest arms.
Yanal trying to get rid of the ball. He doesn't have a timeout, has to throw it. And Steed knocks it down. He saw that coming. He was just kind of baiting him, right? Just waiting there. He saw the pass had to come.
Yeah.
And then he dove into the passing lane and stole it away. 2:05 left in the third period, 44-32. Switzerland with no timeouts left. And able to wait. I was afraid he was going to go back across that line.
Jamie with the steal there.
And both refs are pointing different ways. And we have a winner. They're going to give that to Great Britain. So Great Britain mixing it up again. Calling off Kogan on with Mannion. Flynn, number 11, back out on the floor. And it'll be Mannion across the line.
Mannion getting a lot of good minutes in this game. Great,
Yeah.
great for his development.
I mean, not just quality minutes as far as competition, but quality minutes. He's done a really good job with them. Not giving up on defense. You know, they had no turnovers last quarter.
Nice pass from Jamie there to a wide open Ollie.
GB has still not had a turnover since the first quarter. And that's really the difference, right? We got 16 turnovers from Switzerland.
If GB had known they were to have had 3 turnovers in the whole game, they'd have probably been aiming for three or less in the whole game. So they lost them all in the first, and they're doing their best to try and keep it at that number.
Well, like you said, you know, their early game, first game, there's some rust to work off, right? No matter how much you've trained this week, you've got in some scrimmages, you've done some drills, everybody's awake and relaxed. It's not like you had to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning to play your you're not up at 8 o'clock to play a 9 o'clock game, right?
Yeah.
You're in the gym at 9 o'clock, for sure. In your chair, ready to go, warming up. So these guys have had all day to think about this. Like you said, to be rusty in the first quarter is not a big deal.
No.
And to only have 3 turnovers, I mean, it was competitive in the first quarter. But as we close out this third, Great Britain up by 13, and with possession of the ball, able to make it 14 as they work down this clock. They also get the ball back after the break, the 3-minute break that we'll have.
It seems like they've really worn down Switzerland in this. Well, I guess over the whole course of the game, but they look a little bit defeated now, would you say, Switzerland?
Well, they've used up all their timeouts.
Gonna score again here, Ollie.
You know, early on, they had some successes. They had some things go their way. Those turnovers, right? Some of those turnovers were unforced, but they were playing tough defense. And as we go into the break here, 48-34 is our score. Switzerland unable to convert there at the end. So now's the time when these teams start thinking about the rest of the week, right? What lines do I want to try out here in situational rugby? Who do I need to get some minutes? You know, well, I'd like to say it's not over. It's a big hill to climb. 14 tries. And Great Britain has, obviously they don't have Stuart Robertson, but they did just win a gold medal in the Paralympics. They came in second in the European Championship against France, right? Was it France that won?
Yeah, France have definitely made a big step up. And you know, they did brilliant to win that tournament. They were at home. Euros was in France this year. Yeah, GB will be looking to right that loss against France, because France are in GB's group this time.
GB has appeared in every World Championship and not won a medal. They'd never won a Paralympic medal either until they won gold last year. And that was a great tournament. They played amazingly. They earned it for sure. Nobody can say otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, no one in Europe has ever medalled at world level until we did in Tokyo. So, you know,
we were on that team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping to go to Tokyo and do commentary, but when they said they weren't even going to have spectators, I figured, okay, they're probably not going to bring in a commentator. I would have liked to go to Tokyo, but even if you'd gone, they weren't allowing people to see anything, right? COVID was a pretty big deal at the time. It's not that it's not a big deal now, but you know, we're better protected. We have vaccines now. We have treatments. Like when I got COVID over the summer at the hospital, going in for a checkup of something. Anyway, the doctor gave me some medication to make sure that it wasn't severe. I mean, I had horrible symptoms. I was down for a few days, and wishing I could sleep it away because it was not good. But you know, I came out of it clean. Fortunately, my family didn't get it.
That's the thing, you don't want to pass it on, do you?
No. You know, my son unfortunately has respiratory issues related to some birth conditions, and I don't want him to get it. No. You know, I feel like it's a matter of time, but you know, he's had his vaccine. He's had his. We got him his, or about to get him his booster, or the one that is for the new variants. I just got it the day before I came here.
Right.
So those things kind of change the game, right? We're seeing a lot of players here. Other than Japan and Germany, we're not seeing a lot of masks this week. There are a couple players that are not on either of those teams that are masked, but there's no requirements. There is COVID testing. We got tested before we left to arrive. We were tested 48 hours after we arrived. So they're still trying to be safe, and I think somebody said Germany, the reason that they are wearing masks is because at Quad Nations, half of the team caught COVID at some point, either on the way back, during, and so they lost half their team. That made that really difficult for them. So they're trying to be safe. Fortunately, nobody had any severe issues from that. So 49-34 a score, half a minute into the final period of this game. This is the second game of the tournament, final game of the day. Great Britain in a good position here to start off the tournament. Looking to inbound there.
Jump ball called there.
Howling. And that's our first held ball of the
It's going
game.
to be Switzerland's ball, isn't it? Yeah.
And GB's first turnover since the first quarter.
Yeah.
I guess I jinxed them by saying they hadn't had one, right? If you're superstitious. Trying to get that ball out.
Aaron's putting a lot of pressure on. Oh.
It'll be Fry with the try. Gaynal gets it to him.
Cowlin and Johnny getting the 2 players there. Great picks there from Ryan and Johnny.
So Phipps and Mannion, it looks like they're in there together. I'm not sure we've seen that line, have we? Or maybe we saw it early?
No, I think this first time in this game.
Yeah, 'cause I didn't think so. I thought that Mannion had replaced Phipps in every situation so far. Oh, almost didn't get that pass away. But he does.
Should be a really strong defensive lineup there.
Langhard. So what do you think at this point for player of the match?
Well, are we probably looking at someone on the GB side, would you say?
I would say so.
Should we do one for the GB side and an honourable mention for Switzerland?
Yeah,
as well?
absolutely. On the Switzerland side, for my money, I'd say Dao Tai has, really played well.
100% agree with that. He's really surprised me. Like, I think this is his first time at a Worlds, and he was brilliant. Who's your
But as
money
far
on?
as man of the match, Phipps with his speed is a dominant player. But is there someone who has really made a difference otherwise? Right, I can look at Steed has had a great match. I think his minutes have all been great. He's been in great defensive positions. He's made passes on offense. There's some solid low pointers too on GB who you could give credit for. Hogan didn't get as many minutes, or Grimes, but
I think we're probably, I can't remember who gave the turnovers away, because some of those players that have done so well gave some away, but maybe Aaron.
I might be able to tell you those statistics as we look at total statistics. There's your turnovers. Steed had one, Phipps had one. No, I think Steed had a great game.
Let's go with Jamie. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Call Steed the man of the match?
Yeah. Definitely a tight one between him and Aaron, but
yeah, both guys played great. Sometimes it's really hard to pick a guy, but to me, Steed really stood out. Whereas Phipps, for his natural ability, stands out all the time.
Yeah.
I think Steed played a great game. So I feel good about that decision. I think it'd be hard to argue. And really, you look at Great Britain has played lots of different players.
Yep.
So nobody has gotten massive minutes. When a guy plays end-to-end, in a competitive game, you'll see a guy like Chuck Aoki who will play every minute of every game.
Yeah.
well, whether they're good or bad minutes will depend on the game, right? But, you know, guys that dominate like that, the Phipps, the Middells, all the top tier guys,
Yeah.
right? The guys that you see on the other roster, and that's the guy you got to stop. They're going to have good games.
Great Britain number 13, Aaron Phipps.
Up over the top. Ooh.
2 chairs on the floor.
Phipps goes down. Now Phipps again, right? He if he's leaning back when he gets hit, he's going down. Almost doesn't matter where he gets hit.
Outside. Great Britain 54, Switzerland.
So Dao Tai with the hit and the try. Now he's holding his hand out like what? He didn't get called for a spin. Well, who's the other guy on the floor? I didn't see MZ get back out there, let alone fall on the floor. Oh, there he goes down right there. He must have gone up the wheel of the low pointer, Kogan.
Oh yeah.
That happens all the time. They showed the replay. I was looking at the floor.
Timeout call from GB there.
Love having the replays. That's always great, especially when there's something we're talking about.
Good pressure there from Switzerland. Did what they did a lot in the first quarter and got that ball stopped and just kind of put a lot of hands in the way, really. It's not often you get Aaron stopped like that.
Yeah, you count that as a win, right? Every time. 55-39, almost at the halfway point of this final quarter. And Dao Tai stuck there.
Ooh.
Oh, and it's popped out. And over goes 24, Ryan Cowling.
That looked to me on the replay like MZ pushed him over there as he was falling. And I don't think you're allowed to do that, right?
Well, it kind of depends on how it happens. So we're going to watch this here, right? See if this is legal or illegal. So he goes up over the top. He did turn his chair, but I think he was going over. They're not going to call that.
Yeah.
If you make a movement to try and throw a guy over when he's already in a vulnerable position, they'll call a penalty for that. But I think that was just, he was following through and he turned that direction. That was interesting there. The Swiss players try to keep the GB players from getting on the court, and they've done a pretty good job.
Smart
because they
thinking.
did a complete substitution. So now, trying to inbound there is Cummins, and he had trouble because of that. Almost knocked out of the lap there of Flynn, but he's able to hang on, and across the try line, Gavin Walker, number 4.
Great Britain, the captain, number 4, Gavin Walker. Assist, Flynn.
Pass caught by MZ. He's got an option. And again, Dao Tai. Nope, Dao Tai didn't get it.
Brower.
That's what I get for not learning the names well enough. I know Dao Tai put his hand up there. I must have, did he pass it or did it bounce off him? Did you see?
No, sorry.
Both guilty. Cummins across the line. 4:06 left in this one.
I was just thinking of how effective the Swiss's hands have been really in this game, both on offense and defense. Kind of like their only real chance to get stops is stills. And they've had quick hands, reaching at the right times.
Well, but is that the team they're playing against, or is that, you think, just a team dynamic?
I think,
or strength or weakness, right?
I think like you say, you have to play to your strengths,
right?
And a lot of the Swiss have like decent hand function, so they're able to manipulate the ball when it's on someone else's lap, and they can reach in better, they can reach in quicker.
there are teams that are known for being very reachy, but I feel like the entire league has gotten more reachy than they were.
Yeah.
Like you could usually count on Canada to always be in your lap, Australia to always be in your lap, but U.S. is reaching a lot more, and you're seeing a lot more at the lower levels. Like when we did the European qualifier, there was a lot of reaching going on.
Yeah.
And it's effective, right? If you get a turnover, it's going to make you do it again.
Yeah. And there's not a huge penalty, is there, for creating a foul in this game?
Depends on when it happens and how it happens.
Yeah. But GB are definitely...
Cummins with the try.
GB have such great defensive coverage that they probably try not to reach. They try and trust their defense one-on-one because it's so strong.
MZ up to Handel, gets it back. MZ gets in his dribble. He's trying to get it up there to Dao Tai. Dao Tai hooked up. Walker. Dao Tai can't get around the corner, gets it back over the top. MZ crosses the line, doesn't have control, loses the handle on it there. So no try. If you don't, you cannot cross that active try line with no matter whose chair you're in, offense or defense. And you can see that got a little hand on the pass, and he looked back at the defensive player. Like, oh, you got me there.
It's going to be tough here. They've got Nick in a bad position.
One thing I saw in Norway, there's a lot of sportsmanship, really great sportsmanship. I love seeing that stuff on the court when, you know, guys appreciate and respect the play of somebody else when they do a good job. You know, I don't want to go out there and congratulate the guy necessarily, but especially when you're in the middle of a heated match. But I just saw great sportsmanship, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you can tip your hat out of respect, can't you? You can play hard, but...
Sure. And on and off the court, you know. Yeah, stuff happens on the court, but we try to keep it between the lines.
Yeah.
Another turnover there. This one late, 59-41. Now it's 60-41. 19 try differential with 2:43 left.
Great work there on defense by Jamie and Nick. Jamie putting the pressure on the ball, Nick picking up the loose ball. Oh, another one there from Nick.
And GB really now in control. So let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. At 9 a.m., we have France, New Zealand on this court. And we have Australia, Brazil on the second court. Like I said, there are 5 games on each court tomorrow. So on this court, it's France, New Zealand, Colombia, Japan at 11:45, Canada, Australia at 15:45, 3:45. At 1800, it's Japan, Denmark, and at 20:15, Germany, Great Britain.
Got to be looking at Canada, Australia as the pick of that day, right?
Canada, Australia should be a good game, for sure. Japan, Denmark might be interesting too. I think that's worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
On the other court, Australia, Brazil at 9, United States, Germany at 11:15, Switzerland, New Zealand at 14:45. That might be a really good one. Brazil, Colombia, that's going to be the game of the day at 17:30. And I think I'm calling that game. And the last one will be France, Switzerland. Yeah, Brazil, Colombia. I'm working that game with Simon tomorrow. So it would be at home, I think, 11:30 in the morning. But we're not at home. We are here in Vejle, Denmark at the World Championships. Turnover there, Walker with it, up against the line, has to use the timeout. Great Britain used all their timeouts this quarter. All 3 of the ones they've used so far. Is it 4 now? Yeah, it's 4.
Feels much better using a timeout after you just got that turnover, though.
Well, you can't take it to the next game.
No, you can't.
And how often do we see a turnover turn into another turnover?
Yeah.
You get that turnover and you get excited and you do something desperate as if it's desperate, and it's not. You got 40 seconds. And boom, it's gone again. A little of that in the first quarter.
Looking like another stop here for GB.
Maybe next time we should talk about man of the match, but not choose it on the air so people can find out afterward. Either way, Great Britain scores yet another try, 64-41. 25, Samuel Schwartz, his first World Championship. Out there, number 25, he's trapped up against the line.
Kieran's holding
MZ
it now.
trying to get that ball out of trouble. He's hanging on to it. 59 seconds left. Hannell will get it across.
Number 2, Hannell.
And number 12, Speed.
Looks like GB will try and score quick.
And even in this situation where now the game is out of hand, right?
Yeah.
23 tries. You're not going to score that in 41 seconds. Teams are still going to work on a game situation, trying to work for that last try.
100%.
Up ahead to Dao Tai.
It's about people trying to stay locked in, you know, practicing being focused. It's such a big thing in this sport. You lose your focus for 1 second, and it can turn your tournament.
You only get so many opportunities to run an in-game situation for the last try. So you got to take advantage of every one, whether the game's close or not.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it at practice, but it's never the same when you're playing against your teammates. It never feels as important.
Speed scores that with 13 seconds left. There was no shot clock. I guess he wasn't too worried about last-minute situation there. And with 13 remaining, we need to get in one dribble and get across half court. Not to turn it over, but MZ tries to get it ahead, can't. 4 seconds, 3, and GB will get the ball back with 2 seconds remaining. 66-43. That will likely be our final score. Great Britain will take this one. Switzerland will go home, lick their wounds, and think about that next game. So my name's Dave Mengen.
I'm Chris Ryan here.
Thanks for joining us here in Vejle, Denmark. We will be with you again tomorrow. Again, 10 games for your viewing pleasure. Long week of rugby here at World Championships. Winner goes home with a free ticket to Paris for the Paralympics. So come back and join us, watch some rugby. This game is over, 66-43. Anything takeaways from this game? Maybe that either Great Britain or Switzerland maybe should think about as they go into their next one?
I think Switzerland will be happy after that first quarter performance. You know, I think they'll be really satisfied with themselves for that. And I think for GB, their 3 quarters, quarter 2, 3, and 4 was brilliant.
And they're giving the Man of the Match award to Jamie Steed, or the Player of the Match, I guess.
But as always, there's always learning opportunities, isn't there? So the quarter 1 for GB, you know, they'll try and keep that ball a bit more protected in the next games coming up, and you know, learn from that, and hopefully they'll, you know, kind of eradicate that going forwards.
Yeah, considering there were 3 turnovers in that first quarter, if that's the bad thing that they have to look at, they're feeling pretty good about their performance today.
Yeah.
Switzerland really got to work on ball protection, right? You got to protect the rock. You can't score it if you don't have it. And, you know, that getting those opportunities, creating those turnovers is a great thing, but if you turn it over the way they did today, you're going to have a rough one.
And you don't want to be perfect right away, right?
That's right.
There's only one way to go from there.